Alright, last video for this chapter. We're going to talk about stairs and then some a little bit about fireplace. I'm not going to get too much in depth. And then some other symbols you might need or that you're going to know and what they represent in the plan. They are very important. So stairs, when you see something like a sort of a hallway with a bunch of lines and then with the arrow saying up or down, that means you're seeing stairs. All right. For example, if we look at this, the plan that we have been seeing, see those lines with it up? That means stairs. That means stairs. That means stairs. Okay. Now it could be either you're going to the second floor, or you're going to the first floor, or you're going to a basement. But the stairs are represented like this, right? Which is what we have right here. So it's lines, and then you have to provide line landings. For example, in this case, you have a wall like this, a wall here, and then this way. So what does that mean? As you're walking up this way, right? We're seeing from the plan view, you get to this point, which is the highest point, or the second floor in this case, and then you have access to the rooms going to the left. In this case, it's just a landing. It goes, see here, it goes up. The lines are closer, and then it goes separate or farther apart. That's your landing. In this case, you get up there, and then you go out to your, or either the stairs continue that way, or you already get to the second floor. If it's like this, bunch of lines, and then a bigger gap, and then a bunch of lines, that means it's a landing. So you go up, and then you have a space that's there to a little bit, I guess, to rest, and then you continue. Okay, and it could be for support, to support it down here, right? And then this one, it goes all the way around, so you go up this way, and then you go up on the landing that way, and then you continue going up. This is similar to what we have here on campus in the middle, on the stairway in the middle. Something similar. Well, actually, the ones on the sides also, the emergency exits. If you go through those, it will be something like this. So this is how they will be drawn. Now, how do you see them on a section view or on an elevation view? Like this. So this lines represent the actual stairs, and then the landing, and then this wall is that one. So you go walk that way. Here it goes up. You have a landing, and you continue walking up. This one you're coming up this way. Landing, you walk that way, right to like towards the computer in this case, towards the screen, and then you go up again, and you get to the landing, and then you go out that way to wherever you get into. Okay, so that's what they mean. So you have a bunch of lines, bigger spaces, and then arrows saying up or saying down. In this case, this is what you have. You go up like this. You have a wall. You have a wall. So it's in case you go up like this. You have a landing, and you keep on going up. Okay, this one you go up like this. Now, if this has this line in the middle, what does that mean? That you go up to this point, then here it's a step, and then here this line represents another step. So you step here, you step there, and then you continue. So this landing is not the same height. It's one here and then a little bit taller, and then you continue to the other side. So it goes like this, half a landing, I guess, step, and then half a landing, and you continue with the stairs. Okay. And then if you have circular or spiral stairs, they will look like this. You would draw them like this on the plan, but in reality, on section, it will be like this. You just go around the pole, the center pole. Okay. Now, next, those lines, what do they represent? Or actually, in plan view, actually, this is what we're going to look at in a bit. So this was you're going down, and then you have some notes there. Down 14R. What does that mean? That means 14 risers. And then it's shown here on the sides. This case has a wall and then some other line. Those are the handrails. Okay, if you're doing commercial, you have to put handrails. So 34-inch high handrails all the way through, and actually it projects out. And then by code, you're gonna know this later on, how much they project out. Upper floor. This is your lower floors. You're going down 14 risers, and then you have the exit where you need to go. Now, this right here, remember, these are the section cuts. We're going to cut to this stairs, and then look where the arrows are pointing. We're going to look that way. So this is what we see. Okay, so that means that every step, it's going to be this right here. Right? And this should be 14. And then this handrail that we see there, it's this one, where they grab to it as they walk all the way through. Okay. Now, important information to know. One, it's where is it? Here. This is the riser, how much it goes up, right? The thread or the tread, like that. So it says here again, good information to know. How much space you have to provide on the landing or for the thread of each stair. This one is 10.5, but when you're designing, the space you need to provide or how deep this stair has to be, or each one of them has to be minimum 9, maximum 12. So you have to keep between those numbers. The height, actually, where's the height? Right here. The height, which is the riser, or how much it rises, it goes, this one is 7.25, minimum 7, maximum 8.25. So you can't put, I'm going to make them high 10 inches high. You can't. By code, you won't be able to. So this is good information that you need to know, or at least have access to. How much high can you put them? You have to keep it on that range. And how deep you have to put them, you have to keep them in that range. Also, the handrail from the actual riser, wherever, as you're going up, from there you have to project, it has to be how high? In this case, it has to be minimum of 34, maximum of 38. So if you keep it around this distance, you're good. Okay, and again, you're a designer. You should know what is it that you're looking at and what is it that you're doing. Here you have, of course, you have to have the angle of how much you're going to go up. Angle of 30 to 35 degrees. All right, so when you're drawing, you need to know that. And what else? The support you need to provide. And again, here's a run. Here's a riser. There you go. Is a run. I'm sorry. The run and the riser. Run. We said it was going to be between 9 and 12, and the riser between 7 and 8 and 8.25. All right. And then you have to use support. If you see something like this is your support at 2.8 gypsum. This is what it's covering, and so it's probably something going on here. They have a support there, a stud. All right. So it's gypsum here and here on the outside, right behind it. And then the support, you have a floor joist and top plates and header attached to somewhere in the wall that is going to provide support for this. Okay. And then you have to put the total height from the first floor to the second floor. So it's here 8 feet 11 and 5/8 total rise. So from the first floor, which is here, to the second floor, which is here, it's 8.5. So this is what we're looking at. Okay, so you need to know that information. So in other words, this means this right here. This is a section. Make sure you study that. Okay, and then also this. The width is good to know the width also. There's also a minimum width that you can use. All right, look at that. This one you can read on your own. Again, it's more explanation or more samples on stairs. Fireplaces, I'm not going to go too much in depth. You can read on those, but just know that what type of fireplace you're going to be using or designing or looking at. If it's gas, if it's wood, if it's what type of actual fire, what type of fireplace you're going to put. That way you can design it with that in mind. Okay. Here, for example, you have a line like this with a note like that. It means that from this room to this room, there's a difference in elevation. So in this case, you're walking up to here, and then you walk one step down to go to the living room. Dining, you're here. You have 2 steps up to get to the dining. And then you have your handrail right there, 36 inches. So again, every line represents something. So if there's a line there, it means that there's something you need to look into. Okay? If you have just there, if you don't have these notes here and you have those lines there, this big rectangle and this small rectangle, you should think, okay, there's something going on here that I don't know. Right? So you start looking for interior elevations, or looking for notes that tell you what is it that they want. In this case, it's 2 steps up and a handrail right there. Again, so these are symbols that you need to know to see what's going on the building. I'm not going to go into much into this. More than likely, you won't be at least down here, fireplaces. But if you do, you can go through that. I'm not gonna um, go in depth here, or actually touch it. Um, Clean out. You think of that. How are you gonna have clean out for access to clean it? If it's a different type of fireplace, if it's gas, you need to provide the line for gas. So all those things you need to think ahead. Or if you see something like this, well, you know it's gas. It's not wood, or it's not. It's a gas fireplace. And the type of fire, the type of wall, the type of material you have to use for that. Air pollution. How are you going to keep the air clean so the smoke goes out the house, not inside. So all those things you have to look into, and we're talking about fireplaces. And here it gives you some sample of it, right? And we're almost done. This we talked about. Each room has its own name. In some instances, you're going to have the actual size of the room. More than likely, you won't. Or actually, you're going to see something like this. If you have a plan that you get online, probably it's more than likely going to have this and with no dimensions, which gives you an idea of the size of the room. But for the purposes of what we're going to do here, we're not going to put them like this. We're actually going to have the dimensions. Okay. Hose bib, concrete slab, and attic. Well, actually more these two. Room titles here. Hose bib. So we have a wall with like this in the H and a B. That's a hose bib, so you know what it is. All right. It's a water faucet, outdoor water faucet. So when you're on the outside, if you have this symbol, you will know that it needs a hose bib, especially on the outside. All right. So when you do your floor plan and you want a hose bib in the back and the sides because of gardening, whatever purposes, you have to label them as such. Concrete slabs. Garages, entries, patios, you need to provide or put the slope of that. In this case, this is a 4-inch concrete slab. This is like a garage. Yeah, garage slab. And this is a note that it has 4-inch concrete slab. So it means the thickness of that slab is 4 inches. And the slope, it's 1/8 minimum per foot. So they're going to level that. It's going to start leveling down this way, where the arrow is. For every foot, it's going to go down 1/8 of an inch. So it's a very subtle drop for the purpose of water, drainage. The water is going to be pushed to the outside. Same thing on your entries, on your patios and porches. Those have a slight slope because when it rains, you want the water to be pushed out and not come into your house, into your structure. So you have to label them. Also on your roofs, you're going to have something like this on the roofs. Depends on the pitch you have. Or if it's a flat roof, more than likely like this. If it's a pitch roof, we'll discuss that later on, which tells you, the contractor, I need to provide that slope so the water can run out. All right. So on slabs, you're going to see them like this, and that's a note. You need to know what it is. And then attic, if you have attic spaces, again, you have to show them as such. So if you 22-inch by 30-inch crawl space, and this is the attic that you're going to provide to get up there. All right, so then I think we have some more symbols here. Yeah. Drains. If you have a circle inside on a room, you need to label it. If you don't want to put the whole word drain, you can put FD, F.D. FD, which is floor drain. If I put a FD here, that means it's a floor drain. On commercial projects, all the restrooms and what is it, like janitor's closets and stuff like that, they have to have a drain. Okay, so you have to provide one. So they're going to have to, on the floor, they have to provide that slope. So if there's water that's running, it's going to go to the drain. So just go to the restrooms. Any commercial, when you go to the store, any commercial project, when you go, or project building, if you go to the store, Walmart, I was Kmart, but Kmart doesn't exist anymore. Walmart, Target, any store, any restaurant, any commercial building, go to the restroom and you're going to see those floor drains there. They have to. Now houses, no, you don't have to. I mean, if you want to put them, extra money, if you really need it, but commercial, they have to put them. And again, it's going to be a circle with an FD end them. I looked at this one. It's not showing it here, but if we go to this blow up section, I'm pretty sure it's gonna appear. It's gonna show up. Also the janitor's room. Here we can't see him, but if we go to this blow up section, which is on drawing A1 at sheet A61, pretty sure there's a drain right there. Okay, and we can see that in class. And then this section that we talked about already, if you want to cut through some area, this is how you do it. And again, it's the drawing and the sheet. Drawing and sheet. And you cut through something, and wherever it's pointing is wherever you're looking at. Alright, so you can read on that, and basically this is what I just showed you, which is, remember this section cut is going all the way through, and it's looking that way. So we're cutting through that. So that's what this is talking about. Alright, that's chapter 3. And make sure you read the book. Right now I went through it, all the whole chapter, but if you don't read the book, you won't get everything or all the concepts the way you should. So please read the chapter 3, and we'll continue with chapter 4. Please be on the lookout for the videos, and please watch them and view them again. And whatever's not clear, either send me an email or a message on Blackboard, or just save the questions and we can discuss them in class. So again, basically in chapter 3, it's just what do the symbols mean. You need to find out where the walls are. If the wall has a different type of lines there, it means that there's something going on with that wall. Maybe have brick, might have some other information there. Some walls or lines for the walls might be thicker than the other ones. That's perfectly fine. Depends what is they're looking at. Door symbols are going to be the symbol for the door you want. It has to have it has its own symbol, so you have to use the correct symbol for the door that you're using. Same thing for the windows. Whatever window you're going to use, you have to use or draw it the way that you should draw it. That's what I should say. Same thing with and also we discussed about endorsing windows, about the schedules. Commercial, more than likely you're going to be using schedules. Residential, you're going to have more than likely the doors and the windows are going to have numbers there. That means width and height. We went over that. What is it we went over? Stairs. Kitchen, what are those, the base cabinet, top cabinets, those hidden lines, what do they mean? What else did we discuss? The stairs, the risers, the run, we discussed that. And all the different symbols that what they represent. So basically, right now we just touched on how to read the plans. Next chapter, I believe chapter 3, we're going to continue with floor plans, but I think it's dimensioning, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. That's a lot of assignments. Yeah, dimensions. So now we're going to get into the actual dimensions. Okay, so again, whatever's not clear, please let me know so I can go over it during class. All right? Enjoy chapter 3. Do all the questions, please, on Blackboard. And remember, it's review question and it's the problems there. We have to look at the plans and give me the answers. And all that's in Blackboard. Enjoy.